and we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about phones, more specifically smartphones. Now today, if you look around at anybody with a phone, 99% of the time it's a rectangular slab, the candy bar shape. Back in the day we had some more interesting shapes, but today they're all gone. And up until around 2016 I was pretty interested in them, but it seems like they started regressing. They started losing features and just charging more for the phones. So maybe they really don't need a yearly release anymore. I mean, if you look at rotary phones, the design really stayed the same from the 1890s to the 1970s when they got the push button phones. And after that, the design didn't really change too much until we started getting mobile phones. So we're going to take a look back at the history of the mobile phone up into the smartphone and look a little bit at the future. In 1984, the Dynatac 8000X from Motorola became the first commercially available mobile phone. It cost around 10 grand in today's dollars and would only last for about an hour phone call. After that, you needed to charge it for 10 hours to refill the battery, or you could buy a separate charger that would charge the phone in an hour. It weighed 28 ounces and was 10 inches tall, not including the antenna. This size and weight earned it the nickname the brick phone. On August 16, 1994, the IBM Simon hit the market as what's now considered to be the world's first smartphone. It could make phone calls, send faxes and emails, had an address book, calendar, calculator, and more. It also featured a touchscreen UI. And this thing was rocking, get this, 1 megabyte of RAM, 1 megabyte of storage that you could upgrade to 2, and a 16 megahertz CPU. And this thing came out less than 40 years ago. I mean, it makes you think about the future of tech and where we're going. If we can get this far in 40 years, imagine how much we'll be in like a couple hundred years or 1,000 years. What we have at that point will probably seem like magic to people living today.
Thou art notified that thy kind have infiltrated the galaxy too far already. Thou art directed to return to thine own solar system immediately.
The 90s also saw the sending of the first text message, downloadable content in the form of ringtones, the first mobile ads and payments, and the internet making its way to phones. Around the turn of the millennia, smartphone development really began to pick up speed. And in 2007, Apple released the iPhone, and this pretty much killed every other form factor for phones. Like, if you compare it to the new iPhone, the new one's bigger, it's got smaller bezels, and it's built with metal instead of plastic. That's it. And 13 years. But what would you even really change if you had the chance? There's really nowhere left to go with this kind of thing. If you go any bigger, you're turning into tablet territory. If you're trying to do multitasking, your keyboard would cover up the screen, so you might as well just be on a laptop. So what would you really even need to upgrade the design for? And I guess in the same sort of line of thinking, why would you need to upgrade your phone every year? Sure, the specs get bigger in paper, the numbers get bigger, but you're not really doing anything extra with the specs. Like, you get a better camera, maybe better night mode photography. But most people are just taking pictures to share on social media, and I'm looking right now, the max resolution for a picture on Instagram is 1080 by 1080, so camera phones today already have a better resolution than that. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that unless there's some new killer app, whether that's AR or VR or whatever that ends up being, the phones are probably going to stagnate. And I guess that's okay. I mean, cars have looked the same for decades, phones look the same for decades, planes have the same designs for decades, but it's not really that exciting. But that's just the way things go, I guess. Things just get incremental upgrades, and eventually, if something way better comes along, they just become obsolete. Which, is kind of sad that it's going to happen to smartphones, because I remember in elementary school, nobody had a smartphone. Everybody had an iPod Touch. I was jealous that I could never get an iPod Touch. I had friends that had flip phones. I had a track phone at some point. And it was fascinating to watch the evolution from that all the way to what we have today. But I guess we're all just going to have to wait to watch that happen again with the next big thing. Alright, thanks for watching the video. This is the end now. Fuck, obviously it's the end. But this one was kind of a struggle to make because I got halfway through making it and then I didn't know where to take it. But I don't think it turned out too bad in the end. I think eventually I want to try and get to a video every 2 weeks. I know it's been like a month since the last one. I got busy with, real life stuff. But hopefully I'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. And the next video is going to be about how Jesus got turned from a humble guy who's a servant of the people, and now he's like a symbol for conservative people that are like pro-gun, anti-theology, anti-science, and all this kind of crazy stuff. So we're going to see how he went from being a humble guy to representing all this crazy stuff. Anyway, see you guys in 2 weeks.